Welcome to Beyond the Game with Hal, where we dive deep into stories that shape athletes off the field and into the world of innovation, resilience, and personal development. I'm your host, Hal, a 14-year-old aspiring sports broadcaster with a passion for uncovering the journeys that define today's sports figures beyond their athletic achievements. In today's episode, we have the privilege of speaking with Garrett Salpeter, known not only for his electrifying college hockey career, but also as the mastermind behind Nuefit, a revolutionary approach to physical therapy and athletic training. Garrett's journey from the ice rink to innovation is a tale of passion, perseverance, and the power of applying athletic discipline to entrepreneurial spirit. Join us as Garrett shares insight from his days battling out on the competitive world of college hockey, the lessons learned through triumphs and setbacks, and how these experiences propelled him to pioneer Nuefit. We'll explore the intersection of sports science and entrepreneurship and discover how Garrett's drive for excellence on the ice translated into creating cutting-edge technology that's redefining physical rehabilitation and performance training. So whether you're an athlete, a sports enthusiast, or anybody intrigued by stories of how individuals transcended the game to make a significant impact beyond it, this episode is for you. Let's get ready to go beyond the game with Garrett Salpeter. How was college hockey, and how has that helped you get to things within business and empower that?
That's a good question. I think a lot about the lessons that I learned playing sports. So it really translates a lot. If I'm going through something, that's actually one of the first things that I go on in sort of my internal dialogue or coaching myself is looking back on my experiences in playing sports. And the biggest lesson or the biggest experience that probably has stayed with me is really what it feels like to just put my entire soul and spirit and being into something. I identified, for a period of time so strongly as a hockey player, and I did everything I could. I would, read books to learn about physiology, to learn about training, to try to make myself better off the ice. I got these, DVDs from, or at the time it was VHS tapes from Russian coaches, and so I could do skills practice. In the summers, I would go when the ice, like before the figure skaters went on the ice in the mornings, I would go and negotiate my way on the ice to get all this extra practice time. So I would just figure out, 1 year over the summer, I started counting how many pucks I shot in my driveway. I shot 75,000 pucks. So I just really learned what it takes to actually achieve something, the level of sacrifice that it takes if you want to achieve something. And then also a lot about teamwork, a lot about overcoming adversity, a lot about competition, about how competition is not it's not really about the other person. It's about using competition as a stimulus to make myself better and to tap into finding more things within me or within our team. And also another big one too is, on the competition front is these lessons of, if I'm in a hockey game and someone takes a cheap shot at me, I can either fight them back and get a penalty and harm myself in the moment, or I can use that as motivation and focus on the scoreboard and try to win the game. So there's a lot of great lessons from sports.
And how did your college hockey experience impact your story with your business and creating Nuefit?
So the initial catalyst for my whole business journey was actually an experience I had with an injury where it was my last year playing hockey in college. I had some torn ligaments, and I was just bummed
Where was those ligaments?
Ligaments in my wrist.
All right, so when you're shooting, it's a major
Big deal in
impact.
shooting, yeah. So I went into the boards and got my wrist.
Cheap shot someone on you, or did you just skate?
It was a collision. It was a body check. I don't think it was anything nefarious. I don't think it was anything really.
A legal hit.
Yeah, but so my wrist got jammed like that, at that kind of angle. So I had some torn ligaments. I was supposed to have surgery, and I was disappointed with my traditional physical therapy up to that point and orthopedic medicine. So I just figured, that would be that. I was kind of bummed, and I met a doctor who was doing, a chiropractor who was doing functional neurology and using older versions of direct current. So what does that mean? Well, functional neurology means looking at not just the ligaments that are injured, but looking at the neurological response, how the nervous system, nerves send signals that control our muscles and tells the muscles to shut down or kind of organizes, controls the healing process. And then I used these special electric fields from an older device to actually stimulate the healing process. And long story short, I was able to avoid surgery, and this was now 17 or 18 years ago. So it kind of set me on this journey.
So you use those current to create something that goes through. Can you explain a little bit what that helps with? As you saying to avoid surgery, how does that work?
So the electric field, so we literally have like electrodes or pads on the body, and we're sending electrical current between them. And so there's two main things that does. One is the electricity stimulates the nerves in certain ways that can cause you to, just like if you move your muscles when you're training, you end up training them to work differently, hopefully to work better. Sometimes you train them to work worse, but you can get these immediate effects neurologically, but then you also can, if you create these electric fields, especially if it's direct current instead of alternating current, but if you create these electric fields, it's like having a hill, where if you have a hill and you put a ball at the top, the ball is going to roll down. If you have an electric field, it's going to cause charges to move, and so that can cause cells to move in a way that actually leads to better healing of
So it's
tissues.
like retraining the mind to do the correct thing, kind of, and pushing it into that.
Retraining the mind is sort of the immediate thing, yes, and then there's also this kind of longer term underlying healing of the tissues as well.
Now you got this device, the Nuefit, FDA approved. How did that come? That took a long time, obviously. How did your experiences playing hockey and getting to that point of having to put in so much work help you get that FDA approved?
That's a good connection there, because it is, product development, especially in the medical field, is a long process. I kind of joke that I'm glad I didn't necessarily know quite how long and quite how expensive it was going to be in the beginning, or I might not have done it. But it ended up being, certainly longer than I hoped or intended, and I definitely, called on those lessons of understanding that, delayed gratification, understanding that I have to sacrifice and go through hard things now for a payoff later, is a big lesson from sports and other areas of life, and that certainly helped get through that and other, difficult periods around related to this business too.
Hey, and how did you end up in Austin? You were originally from Chicago.
That's right.
And playing in New England.
Just like
How'd you get
Chicago.
to Austin?
So I came here originally for graduate school at the University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I was a physics major in college, and I came here for engineering. So I have my master's degree in engineering from UT, the Longhorns.
Okay. How has interacting with a lot of people and just like the bonds that you have with your teammates help you succeed in sports and outside with like sportsmanship and relationships and teamwork?
I think this is one of the best reasons to play a team sport, and I think people who play individual sports sometimes miss out on this. But playing, especially playing hockey, perhaps even more than others, because you have lines, you change lines, and sort of everyone gets in the game even more. In basketball, sometimes it's just the same five guys, but maybe there's something there now. But generally, certainly, all the team sports, including basketball, you learn to play as a team, and you learn that you have to rely on other people. You literally can't do it all yourself. One person can't beat five on the opposing team. So you learn that not only do you need teamwork. I learned that the most effective teams, everyone has a role. Someone's playing defense, someone's playing offense, right? Someone's better at scoring, someone's better at checking, someone's better at passing, and sort of you have to complement each other.
In sports too, in life, you can't do everything by yourself. You might need someone who markets, someone who actually does the thing. Not one person can carry a whole business so far.
That's exactly right. And the biggest sort of leveling up that I've done on my business journey is building a real robust, excellent leadership team where they can own certain elements of the business, whether it be operations or sales, marketing, research.
And then obviously you trust all these things, which is built up, and that helps be successful.
That's right. That's right. And I've made mistakes in the past of picking wrong people, for wrong people in the wrong seats. But when you have the right people in the right seats, it makes all of the difference in the world.
Right. I mean, not everything's going to be perfect, and everybody knows that. Now to end it off, we got final 14 questions. Just answer them how you like.
Rapid fire.
Yep, rapid fire.
Okay.
All right, final 14. Who is your idol?
John Wooden.
Favorite restaurant?
ATX Cocina, Mexican restaurant here in Austin.
Biggest fear?
Failure.
Favorite school subject? Well, that was a long time ago for you.
Physics. I love learning about how the world works.
Favorite hobby?
Working out.
Favorite other podcaster influencer?
Besides your show, Hal, I would say Tim Ferriss or Andrew Huberman.
Favorite gym workout?
Favorite gym workout using the newbie with bodyweight calisthenics.
Who's your favorite musician?
I'll say my sister, who's a professional musician. I can tell you about later too. But probably Fall Out Boy, another Chicago band, strong Chicago.
Favorite animal?
Ooh. My dog.
Do you have a favorite TV show or movie?
TV show, either The Office or Arrested Development, and movie. Miracle. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
About the U.S. hockey team.
Do you have a pet peeve in someone?
Pet peeve. My wife's not watching this. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Wasting food.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Good question. I'm gonna say yes.
What's your favorite emoji?
The arm flexing.
And then last but not least, are you a shower singer?
I am not. I am a car singer, but not a shower singer.
All right. Thanks for doing this.
Al, thank you.